What is going on, guys? It's your boy Zero coming at you with episode 14 of this Warhawks Dynasty. Last we had left off, we had just played in and lost, very sadly. Our first bowl game against Stanford didn't really go all that well. It was basically just a replay of the Liberty game with us not getting a whole lot of offense. We also went through like a small bit of the offseason with that as well, just like throwing points at recruits, because I wasn't entirely sure if we were going to play a bowl game because the system, for whatever reason, didn't really show that. But we are now officially in the offseason, and yeah, let's just kind of hop right into our recruiting board. Now, as you can see, our coach prestige, because we lost, has dipped down to a D+, which absolutely sucks because Brian Dunkel, the defensive tackle that I had on the board, my number one prospect, no longer respects us. So that sucks. Can't throw any more points at him, and it's a similar situation here with Matt Pepper. So while those two are just gonna probably fall down all the way there, which sucks, but I can't really do a whole lot about that. Dunkel was a guy that, in my mind, I would have loved to have had, but at the same exact point in time, I feel it's a fact of we don't necessarily need a defensive tackle, as it is a full-on thing. We need a lot of guys, but DTs, I already have, maybe I do need a defensive tackle, and I'm just dumb. No, I'm just dumb, and I probably do need to grab up a defensive tackle. That is certainly something I gotta do in my eyes. Rico Madden is a guy that I could possibly throw at DT, but who knows. So yeah, I'm gonna have to eventually get a new DT and right outside linebacker on the board. But right now, let's just focus on throwing a hell of a lot of points at a hell of a lot of guys for the time being here, and I shall come back with the strategy that I have put out for it. Okay, so we are back, and these are how I'm spending my current point loads. I still have 70 hours remaining, of which we're most likely going to try and find another defensive tackle and another outside linebacker prospect, presumably in the transfer portal. We'll see who we can get, but I've sorted to most hours to least. Obviously, guys are heavily going for Elton Bundren, need help on the offensive line, as was clearly shown during this season. Taj Mayo would love to have an outside linebacker, considering the fact that Pepper just straight up said nope. Truman, we're heavily ahead on him, but you never can be too sure. David Schlaman, really would like to have him as a quarterback as well. 430th in the nation is certainly nothing to scoff at. Marquez Eckler throwing a hell of a lot of points at. Same with Anthony Ty. And then we kind of get into the guys that we're leading on, but at the same point in time, it's a thing of like, well, we could probably like skimp out on points here and there. So Nick McPherson, Lemons, and Tyrese Hall are all going to get 30 points. We are leading on near enough all these guys, and I might actually drop points away now that I'm thinking about it from Lemons, considering the fact that no one is really within like touching distance of him, whereas like Nick McPherson, UCF could catch up on, and same thing kind of with Tyrese Hall there. Doug Irma, who no one else is really throwing any points on the board at him. Same thing with Mustafa and Rico Madden, just trying to kind of get up on his board for the time being. Joel LeWerk, we have this guy in the bag at this point. Those 15 points should get a commitment out of him. Shaquille Claiborne, I'm kind of fine throwing not too many points at him. David Napolitano, this one's just kind of like throw it out there to see if like anything sticks with those 15. And then John Cheeks, no one's really going after fullbacks, which is honestly kind of fine in my mind. So just 10 points for him. And then obviously Teaspoon, Fabian Henderson, and Kyrus Peacock are the guys that we currently have so far. So let's see if we can possibly find a defensive tackle and another outside linebacker in all of these. To be completely honest, just kind of sea of prospects. Who wants to come to Rock Hill, baby? We are first on a lot of these guys' boards, but at the same point in time, Hobson does look like a good prospect, and we are leading on his board, which is nice, so I might give him a shout in all honesty. But, and not maybe he's the third best prospect here. Would really like to have a guy that we could be just playing with for a long time to come. At the same point in time, like, our team needs for outside linebackers aren't really huge. Because Taj Cole is going to be our starting left outside linebacker for a while, and then we obviously have not too many guys at the right outside position, but it still honestly couldn't hurt. See, I do think I will go for someone that's not a junior in terms of outside linebackers. At this point, do we even have any, like, I mean, Hops, obviously there aren't really any, like, major left outside linebacker guys. Dang. Yes, we'll throw Chris Rogers up on our board because we're second on his list, which is certainly nice. Defensive tackles, anyone here that seems particularly interesting? Aaron Bryant, actually, is probably the best we're going to get there because we're first on his board. And then I do remember seeing a cornerback that we were really high on his. Oh my freaking goodness, Emory Jones Jr. We have a lot of guys here that do want to come. I'm going to have to really think about this for the time being, because I know that we have a free safety prospect. At least I believe. Yeah, Nick McPherson. Oof. Okay. Washington Jr. was, in fact, that guy that I did see, but I mean, when you got, like, the number 4 and 5 guys that are not, like, clamoring to in the transfer portal, obviously I'm gonna hop over there now, that want to come to your school, that is certainly a good sign. Oof, I am torn on what to do here, because I doubt we're gonna get Jones. Brown is a possibility, I feel, but it's just kind of one of those things in my head at the moment of like, well, what do, you know? I could, if I really want to, go for Chunkwis Hardaway. I could throw everything at this guy now. I think that might just be what I do, actually. So, prospects added to the board: Chris Rogers, Aaron Bryant, and Chunkwis Hardaway. How on earth do we spend points around these guys? Okay. Gonna have to restructure these a little bit. First of all, I'm just gonna offer them all, and I do in fact mean all scholarships. That's just like an obvious thing to do, I feel. Hardaway, at this point, it's just 1,000,000% sending the house every single time. That I have, that I know, and he's immediately just hopping up on the board. But what do we do after this? Because Rogers and Bryan are two guys that I really do want. They can replace Dunkel and Pepper decently well. They are both sophomores coming in, which is nice. And Bryant's number 10 at his position, Rogers is number 6. So this just kind of puts me in a bit of a conundrum here. I will be back in a second to tell you what I'm going to do in terms of restructuring these hours recruiting. Okay, and we are back. So here's what I've done. I've dropped points on Ty, McPherson, Hall, as well as Claiborne and Cheeks. Not too many points, obviously, but I've done it so that I can just throw 25 points at Chris Rogers and Aaron Bryant. Let's just hope that some of these guys do decide to come here as we head into the next week, as I'm just kind of trying to get something done. Truman has reached his top 3 schools. We're running away with that dude, which, thank goodness we are. That is very nice. Marcus Lemons has reached his top 3 school. Marquez Ecker has reached his top 5. Aaron Bryant has reached his top 5. We're still kind of like clinging on. Doug has reached his top 8. Okay, so... Oof. I'm in a conundrum right now, once again. Do still have 25 hours because of the scholarships that I threw around. Truman, do I just keep those 50 points on? I believe I do. Where is LeWerk? Honestly, take the 5 away. He'll commit after this week. I certainly hope so. Okay. Napolitano not jumping up on his board. Yeah, that kind of sucks. Hall staying the same. Lemons, we're still good on Rogers. We have just kind of immediately hopped out on so heavily in... My goodness, playing time and playing style are the 2 things that he loves about us. My goodness, I can't exactly hard sell him. Yet I feel maybe it's playing time and playing style, so how many things encapsulate that? This is the kind of thing you have to do with hard cells and soft cells, you just kind of have to understand. Playing time, playing style, proximity to home. Is that legitimately the only thing? I believe so. I believe that's legitimately just time to get to work is the only thing I really can throw at him at the moment. So let's just hope to God that that's going to work. He's at the very least 2 A+ and 1 A-, so it's probably going to be pretty good as we've thrown him heavily up on the board again. How many more points can I even throw on Schlaben, to be honest? Just the 5 that I got away. And yeah, we're not really in danger of like losing too many guys here, but oof. What else can we do? I do know that these guys will for a fact commit if you're just the number 1 guy on their board at the end of it, even if you don't reach like the full commitment bar on them. I'm gonna just check team needs at the moment to just see like what kind of things we got going on, if I'm missing anything at the end. Quarterback, halfback, and wide receiver we definitely have covered. We technically don't have anyone at left tackle. Did Kyrus Peacock decommit and decommit to Rice or something? Why did it? Yeah, that's why I was confused for a half second, is that it was like, oh, he's got an O next to his name, so that's okay, that's fine. Yeah, Bunter and Truman, I'm gonna throw one of them, whoever's better at left tackle, so that'll be fine. It also isn't really a huge thing as well, because Williams is most likely going to be our starter there next year. Echo, we already have over there. Yeah, so it literally is just an O for whatever reason instead of our logo. But I suppose that's fine and shouldn't be taken too seriously. Defensive side of the ball. Madden still trying to kind of hop up on his board. Defensive tackle Brian, obviously we got there. Kukwa, I don't outright think that we need like a lot of people. Hardaway and Haller, that maybe we could use another cornerback, but I don't really know, as I kind of think we're fine, in all honesty. Is there anyone else, in terms of, like, transfer prospects that... Let me just... voice notes. Is anyone else, like, mildly interested? I mean, people were, I suppose, but they've obviously went away, which sucks. 3-star prospects. I'm gonna just go over the transfer portal again. I'm just looking at prospect list like a buffoon. How could I do that? Yeah, still, Jones and Brown are like the 2 guys that are still up there, but don't know, both of them juniors at this point in time. Anyone else that... Nope, no one else possible there. Everyone else at this point in time as well. Ooh, Dylan Shaw, my friend. I should have looked at you sooner. You are a true freshman, maybe not a true freshman transfer, but a freshman transfer nonetheless. You're second in interest, which... That's a lot of things just kind of going off in my head right now. Which tells me, hey, you might want to go on and grab this guy. Just at this point, like, looking for anyone else. Anyone else. And it doesn't really appear that a lot of other guys are going to be too high on our boards. A lot of juniors, but Shaw is a guy that I feel I could do some extraordinary things with. Obviously, we have Ecker and Peacock coming in, but Peacock's a sophomore transfer, so honestly, just maybe we switch him over to right guard instead, which could be a very solid idea, I feel. As no one's really going after Taylor or Chen Chao. I butchered that guy's name. So we could just possibly get them by proxy, which will be absolutely fine in my mind. So, yeah, one more guy to be added to the good old prospect boards and Dylan Shaw. We don't really have points to throw at him right now, which 1,000,000% sucks. Unless I once again just rearrange everything because I'm a freaking fool. We're at least top of Junque's heart rate's board, which is good. I'm gonna take points away from Marquez just to throw something, I suppose, at Dylan, which might not exactly be too good. This could come back and bite us in the ass. But who's to really say, Shaquille, I'm gonna need 5 on you just to open the door to offer him a scholarship. And just spend those 10 points, and honest to God, just kind of pray that we get something going here, as, yeah, this is going to be the new board. Hell of a lot of wide receivers. I'm just kind of hoping to get some of these players. Moving on to week 3 of offseason recruiting. Can we please get Lurk to commit? There we go. That's what you like to see. Okay, so Joel's committed. That's another commit. Elton, top 3. And once again, looking at everything that we know is going to stay the exact same. Away with that. Elton slowly kind of pulling away on him. Slowly kind of pulling away on Taj. Mustafa slowly pulling away. Chris Rogers, once again, slowly pulling away. These are the things we need. That's exactly the kind of stuff that I like to see, as I'm immediately, in my mind, I believe, going to... Oh, we've hopped up on Dylan Shaw's board a hell of a lot. Certainly could not hurt to just throw more points at the wall there. There we go. Slowly gaining on Napolitano's board. How much more can we gain, though, is the question. Because I'm not going to get him at the end here if Florida and Miami and all of them are ahead of me, and I've backed out for whatever reason. I tend to do that a lot off camera. Elton, who were, at this point, throwing literally everything at the wall for him. I'm doing the best I can, all things considered. Taj, he's not a guarantee at this point, but I'd say he is. Darren is 1,000,000% a guarantee. We basically dropped so many points on this guy. Because just with a search of the social media, we get him to commit. John Queese. spending all the points we can on him. Aaron Bryant wants. I was going to say spending all the points we can on him, but that is actually a lie. We can spend 15 more. So let's honestly just. Don't. I have no clue what I'm doing. I'm moving my sticks too much. Let's put 25 more points at him just so that Memphis does not try and grab him up from us. Marquez, we could once again spend more points on. But I don't think I'm going to do that as Florida hasn't offered anything. Nick, we have a lot of these guys, in all honesty. Yeah, we're going to put 25 more at Napolitano, throw... I also can't throw any more at any other guys, which certainly sucks. And at this point, I'm just kind of going prospect hunting at this point, I feel. Anyone vaguely interested in coming to Rock Hill? Vaguely interested. Wide receivers we don't really need at the moment. Healy is a sophomore transfer, which I think I mentioned already, who we don't outright need. Oak is in fact a freshman transfer from London, actually. So that's just an odd thing. My goodness. So we're already at 2 of them on the board in terms of cornerbacks. In my mind, it's the thing of like, well, these guys could be taking playing time away from other guys. Hardaway is 1,000,000% taking playing time away from so many guys here. So it's going to be Collins Jr., Pace, and Hardaway as the 3 main corners coming up, and I mean, those guys will all be gone next year, as a matter of fact. I mean, after this next year, so maybe it wouldn't be too bad of an idea to just throw them on the board. I mean, weirder things have happened as I was looking at Jay Crawford for a half second there, and then I realized, yeah, I'm not getting him. Same thing with Oho Daniels, actually. So, yeah, certainly not gonna happen with those guys. Let's just go back on Oki for the time being. Yeah, no one else really tickles my fancy at this point. Probably could have gone after Washington Jr., but that was just not meant to be, as Timmy Oki, welcome, hopefully, to Rock Hill. 10 points your way, bud, and at this point, once again, just kind of hoping that a lot of these guys will continue to have us as the #1 team on their boards. Advancing to the final offseason recruiting week, and Aaron Bryant coming to Rock Hill, Darren Truman coming to Rock Hill as well. 2 more commits. Jonquise Hardaway I cannot speak. What is happening to my mouth? Hardaway still ahead on him. Schlotman ahead on him. It's slowly kind of like seeing these guys gain. I need to immediately throw more points at Dylan Shaw, as I don't know who that is that's catching up to us, but I don't like that. Timmy Oki. Okay, maybe I'm not going to get you, but I could have at least tried. Rico Madden. That sucks. I'm not going to get you, and David 1,000,000%. Most likely getting you. So, final week of recruiting that we can throw at guys. We do have, as a matter of fact, a lot of potential, as we might honestly lose out on Elton just at the end here, which would suck. We should 1,000,000% get Taj. We should get Jonquise. David, I feel we also should get, and I have 75 points still left to spend here, as I just find that absolutely ridiculous that Nebraska can jump up like that, but okay, you do you, baby boo, I suppose. As Let's just continue to throw points at the wall here. What do we got? What do we got? Who do we want? Who do we really want? Five points on John should just get him at this point for us. Shaquille. We're fine on Tyrese. We're fine on Lemons. I feel we could just throw 10 on you and we'll be fine on you, dude. That just kind of sucks in my mind, I think. I'm gonna drop the 25 there, throw 50, throw 10, and take 5 away from someone, take 5 away from Kai. And throw the 5 back up on you, and just kind of hope that we get Rico Madden. But new board is still, at the very least, heavily solid. I could potentially throw a hell of a lot of more points at Timmy. I feel it would be a good idea. Playing style is one thing that we do have on him and that we do know he likes, so that's honestly very good. We can't hurt. I don't have enough points. Well, yeah, I know I don't have enough points. Thank you for letting me know that, game. I knew that to begin with. Okay? Shut up. I knew that. I knew I didn't have enough points. You don't gotta be mean about it. So I doubt anyone's gonna overtake us from Doug at the moment. I'm gonna drop 10 points on him, just throw 15 his way. I feel very confident in the fact that I'm getting a lot of these guys. Which maybe that's just overconfidence kicking in on my end, but I just feel confident enough, I suppose. 30 points we've just kind of grabbed out of nowhere. Honestly, not even a guarantee that we get any of these guys, which, you know, is fine, I suppose, but certainly like to have a lot of them. Okay, so playing time, playing style, and proximity to home. I do legitimately still think that that's like the only possible thing, which it does suck that like I can't really do a whole lot because this pitch isn't going to be all that great. That's what I got for the time being. We drop a tiny bit of points away from you. Just throw those 10 back on Timmy to try and get something out of him, I suppose. Rico, I don't even feel I should try and throw points at to a certain degree, but I should at least make an attempt on it. UCF hasn't even offered anything to Mustafa, so once again, decently confident, but confidence could easily become my undoing as I'm going to throw 10 more points Chris Rogers' way. Playing style, proximity to home, and playing time, once again, presumably, I do kind of mean presumably, what's going to happen. We do go for Chris Rogers. We know he wants playing style, but how many other things encapsulate that here? Okay, that's not great. The clutch also just grab that up. Well, final points being thrown at you guys are looking like this. All in on Bundren, Mayo, Hardaway, and as well as Schlotman. Going heavy for Marquez Ecker, all in on Rico Madden. Heavily in on Chris Rogers. Heavily in on Napolitano. Dylan Shaw heavily on Timmy Oki, which might be a mistake, but at this point, I don't really care too much. And then Claiborne, Hall, Lemons, Cooper, McPherson, Ty, as well as Cheeks all get the treatment we're most likely going to get you anyway. So, let's get off with this final week of off-season recruiting and see who we get. Elton Bundren commits. Taj Mayo commits. Ty commits. Rico goes elsewhere, that's fine. John Kreese. Oof. That's a tough one to lose. And yeah, okay. So, National Signing Day, lose out on John Kreese, Rico, but we do gain Rogers, Bryant, Truman, Ty, McPherson, Cooper, Napolitano, Irma, Lemons, Hall, Claiborne. We lose out on Dylan Shaw, even though I threw literally everything at him. Lose out on Oki. We get Cheeks, LaRoque, Spoon, Henderson, and Peacock as well, leaving our transfer class ranking. I'm going to reveal it in a second. Georgia with the number 1, and well, it's not even a big close race there. CUSA, we are 51st, coming in with honestly just a billion 3-star prospects, as well as 1 2-star. That 2-star, in fact, being Teaspoon. But according to this, the biggest prospect we got was Ryan and Rogers, the 2 transfers, followed by Ty and Schlotman, as well as Truman, just kind of wrapping that up as well. So let's go to position changes, and then the next episode, we're just gonna kind of get into it, I feel, as a matter of fact. But yeah, let's just do position changes. Schlotman, my goodness, might just be the starting quarterback next year. He's a 69 overall. It's not too fast, but as a true freshman coming in at a 69 overall, you are bound to be something special, my friend. It does appear that John Cheeks is only going to be just a blocking fullback. He's not too great at any other positions. Yeah, Joe LaWork, Shaquille Claiborne, and Marcus Lemons are most likely all going to be redshirted next year, which is, yeah, Shaquille Claiborne actually is a solid receiving back, which he also is a decent kicker for whatever reason, not sure why that is. So I will in fact think about throwing him at running back for the time being. Is Lemons a good running back? He's more of a tight end, but I don't want a 5'9" tight end. That just seems dumb. Fabian Henderson's immediately going to be the best tight end we have on the roster at 66, so immediate improvements, as a matter of fact. That's exactly what you like to see. Who else can we possibly throw out there? Curious Peacock, sophomore transfer, is one of the better right guards on the team. He will lose out the starting job to DeMarcus Perkins, though. Elton Bundren, my goodness, 72 overall. I don't know how we've just kind of lucked out with some of these players that we've gotten. As well as Darren Truman at 69. Starting left tackle is only a 65, but let's see which one of these guys is a better left tackle. I love the fact that Kalen Franklin, and I don't know why the game does this whenever I'm trying to go for a different person. I love the fact that Franklin is an 86 overall blocking tight end. Like, you have 55 speed and 65 acceleration, but you're apparently just a beast of a tight end for whatever reason. Yeah, Elton Bundren is going to get 72 overall left tackle, so no real changes to his overall there. Darren Truman going to be the same. Yeah, fairly so. So I'll throw Truman over at left tackle, and yeah, so next season it'll be Bundren and Truman, the two man. No, it's the two ends. That's what I should have said. Who will be main guys there. Anthony Ty is a fantastic left end, which is certainly good to see. At 68 overall. Anyone, I mean, to throw Flynn over at right end, he'd just be like slightly better because we don't necessarily have a good right end. James Couch Smith is a better right end, even if it is only slightly, so we'll throw him over there. Defensive tackle side of the ball, didn't really get any huge guys coming in besides Aaron Bryant, who, this dude is going to be an absolute monster at defensive tackle. No real things to report at left outside linebacker. We do have, oh, I was going to say, I thought we had two right outside linebackers, but I think one of them went elsewhere. Taj Mayo, 64 overall, he'll certainly be something. Kubwa at middle linebacker is once again going to be an instant starter at 67. He's a slightly better right end defensive tackle and outside linebacker, but that shouldn't really concern me all that much, as I'm going to just stop talking, and next time you hear me talk will be after the position changes. Okay, and we're back. So your position changes for Rockhill. Shaquille Claiborne will in fact be a receiving running back for the time being. Not sure why I went over here. I'm honestly kind of forgetting a lot of things. Couch Smith's gonna become a right end now for the time being as well. And there is Doug Armour, the guy who was projected to in fact be an elusive back, is going to be a speed rusher instead, because he was a 63 running back instead, and I feel that he serves a much better purpose here instead, as he and Mayo can kind of take over those two roles, just as like linebacker subs. Perhaps, I believe it was Chris Ellinger at the cornerback position here. Put Ben Laney at the strong safety position, and those are your main changes, I suppose, as well as just Darren Truman becoming a freshman left tackle. So yeah, those are your position changes, and let's just see how everyone's shaped up in terms of upgrades to their attributes, I suppose. So training results, here you go, have fun, do what you will with this. McLawler's an 80 now, Bubba Van Claiborne's a 78, Townsend 78, Ty Hurdy, we apparently got as well. Am I like missing a lot of things or something? Whatever. 78 halfback Taj Cole's star pass rusher last year, 77. Kalen Franklin 77. Noah Collins 77. Strickland 77. Hogan 76. But I think the main thing to look at is that we finally have a, technically not 80 overall quite yet, but in my mind, 80 overall offensive player in Scott McLawler, just our first total 80 overall, and our team overall is in fact up at a 78, and our defense will be the main standout thing for us next year. As yeah, hope you guys have enjoyed this episode. If you did, do whatever you want with it. Can't tell you what to do as always, and yeah, I will see you guys when I see you guys. Peace.